Welcome to 24 Days of Cloud, bite-sized tips every day to help you on your journey to adopt the cloud securely, safely and quickly. So, we now understand our principles, we've gone through a couple of examples. Let's dive into the detail of how to deploy that on cloud resiliently. Let's use the timesheet application. In this case, for example, on premises we had 10 web servers. Each could handle 10 requests per second, and each request could be handled in under 1 second. So those are our non-functional requirements for our cloud deployment, our NFRs. 100 requests per second, each request to be answered in under 1 second. And this can be considered N capacity, our baseline. If we provision above to protect from the loss of a single node, it is N+1, N+2, and so on. Now, assuming your Cloud VM performance maps 1-for-1 to on-premises, each can also deal with 10 requests per second. When you choose to deploy, you think, okay, I'll stripe them. I'll put 5 in availability zone 1, 5 in availability zone 2. In the loss of a single facility, we can scale up. We can auto-scale and bring back that capacity in another availability zone. But this is similar to on-premises. On-premises, when we lose a facility, we invoke DR. There is a downtime penalty. We wait for the next site to come up. Similarly on cloud, even though it's a lot faster, we still have that downtime penalty. So how do we architect around it? Well, we use a pattern called static stability. This design pattern over-provisions to ensure that even with the loss of a single facility, we still have that same baseline of N. Ultimately, it does involve extra cost. You do over-provision, but you can tweak this using monitoring and load testing to optimize. In simple terms, sometimes we may put 10 in availability zone 1 and 10 in availability zone 2. But if we deploy this across 3 or 4 availability zones, we can reduce that. We can reduce it to 3 or 4 in each availability zone or even lower. As we have greater monitoring and greater insight, we can also choose to reduce the total capacity and tweak the balance between still being able to hit one of our NFRs, that serving 100 requests per second, and the other NFR, execution time, 1 second. By having that trade-off between execution time, cost, and others, you can find a perfect ratio, a perfect point. And we can do that using some of the instrumentation available to us on cloud. Look, ultimately, reliability, cost are always going to be a trade-off, but I hope this design pattern of static stability helps you think about better ways to achieve very high availability, but also manage your cost. Thank you and see you tomorrow.